Okay, right. Good afternoon and salam sejahtera. Welcome to webinar Kecemerlangan SPM Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak 2022 Bahasa Inggeris. We have two sessions today, so make sure you stay tuned for both the sessions, the speaking paper and the listening paper. I am Teo Pek Jen from SMK Bandar Kuching number 1, your moderator for the day. Our presenter today is Cikgu Hanapi Mohamad from SMK Bako. He has 18 years of teaching experience and is currently the language head of department of the school. We hope that at the end of this session, you will gain additional knowledge to get ready for the upcoming SPM examinations. Right, shall we start? So let us begin. Over to you, Cikgu Hanapi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon to all teachers and students. Welcome everyone to webinar Kecemerlangan SPM Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak 2022 Bahasa Inggeris 1119/3, which is speaking paper. How are you guys doing? I hope you are all doing fine. All right. Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank to Madam Teo for the introduction. I think it's better for me to introduce Madam Teo as well to all of you. For your information, Madam Teo is an English teacher. She is currently teaching at SMK Bandar Kuching number 1, and she has 20 years of teaching experience. All right, shall we start? Okay, so I'll share the slides to all of you. All right, so for today's session, I'll be going to guide you some easy and simple tips to score in 1119/3, which is speaking paper. All right. Okay, so I believe that you know the format of the speaking test. Okay, so the speaking test consists of 3 parts, right? So for part 1 is an interview session which will take you 3 to 4 minutes. Part 2 is an individual long term, 3 to 4 minutes. And part 3, which is the last part, is a discussion, which will take you 4 to 5 minutes. All right. Okay. So this is just a reminder to all candidates. So when you enter the exam room, please knock the door. Do not forget to greet the examiners by saying, "Good morning, teachers." Okay. Don't forget to smile to the examiners. Last but not least, relax and don't get nervous. Okay, if you are nervous, so try to inhale, exhale for a few times. All right. Okay, so in the exam room, there are 2 teachers. Okay, one is the interlocutor and another one is the assessor. So the interlocutor is a teacher who will interview you and award marks, and he or she will interact and hand over a test booklet in front of you, and the range of the marks is between 0 to 6, given by the interlocutor to the candidates, while the assessor is a teacher who will listen to your answer and award marks to. And the assessor will award marks based on grammar, your vocabulary, and your communicative competence. And the range of the marks the assessor will award you is between 0 to 6. All right, boys and girls, remember when you are in the exam room, speak clearly and speak what you know. Right? So this is the sitting arrangement. Okay, the sitting arrangement where you are supposed to sit. Okay, where is the assessor and where is the interlocutor? So of course, definitely interlocutor will sit in front of the candidates. Okay, and the assessor will sit. It could be 1.5 meters from the interlocutor. All right, now let us start. Okay, we will start with part one first. Part one is an interview session, which will take you 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, so what is this part one all about? So there are two questions from phase one and one or more questions from phase two, depending on the time available for each candidate. Okay, so the examiner may ask you about your school life. For example, what is your favorite subject? Or who is your favorite teacher? So next, the examiner may ask you about your family. For example, uh, how many siblings do you have? Right? It could be your father's job or your mother's job. Okay. The next one, the examiner may ask you about your daily routine. Okay. For example, what do you do after school? Or what do you do during the weekend? Last but not least, the examiner may ask you about your friends. For example, who is your best friend? Okay. Or the examiner may ask you like this as well. Why is he or she your best friend? Okay, so meaning to say you need to give reason. Now, here are some important reminders to all of you. Okay, number one, you need to listen to the question carefully given by the interlocutor. Number two, answer in complete sentences. Okay, meaning to say you don't give a short answer. Let's say the interlocutor asks you, what is your name? You don't give a simple answer like Hanapi. Okay, so you need to give in a full sentence. For example, my name is Hanapi and you can call me, sorry, my name is Hanapi bin Muhammad and you can call me Hanapi. All right, so be aware of your grammar as well. Okay, now let us start with phase one. Phase one is all about the general introductions. Okay, so the interlocutor may ask you this. Good morning, I'm Mr. Hanapi, and this is my colleague, Madam Teo. She'll just listen to us. First of all, we'd like to know something about you, right? So the interlocutor may start with candidate A first by asking, what's your name? And then after that, the interlocutor will ask candidate B, and what's your name? All right. Then the interlocutor will ask candidate A again about where are you from? And last but not least, the interlocutor will ask candidate B, like, how do you go to school? Let's say the candidate A does not know the question or does not know how to respond. So the interlocutor may ask the backup prompts. For example, how should I call you? Or how should I address you? Where do you live? Do you walk to school? Okay, so here is the sample answer. What's your name? My name is Amirullah bin Jasni. You can call me Amir. Where are you from? I am or I'm from Kampung Astana in Petrajaya. How do you go to school? I go to school by motorcycle. All right, boys and girls, can we move on? All right. So now we move on to phase two. Phase two is more specific topics. Okay. So the interlocutor will say this to you. Now I'm going to ask you about your daily routine. Okay. So in the interlocutor may ask candidate A first. For example, Amir, what do you usually do during weekend? And then interlocutor will ask candidate B, Ali, tell us about your hobby. Then back to candidate A, Amir, how many siblings do you have? Last but not least, the interlocutor will ask the question to candidate B. Ali, what subjects do you enjoy at school? Again, if the candidate does not know how to respond, the interlocutor will use the backup prompts. For example, how do you spend your weekend? What do you do to occupy your time? Are you the eldest in your family? Tell us about your favorite subject. All right. Now let us look at the sample answer. What do you usually do during weekend? During weekend, I usually play online game with my friends. Tell us about your hobby. My hobby is cooking. I like it because I want to be a chef in the future. How many siblings do you have? I have three siblings and I'm the oldest. Or you can say, I have three siblings and I'm the youngest. What subjects do you enjoy at school? I have two favorite subjects, English and science. I like English because I want to be an English teacher in the future. The reason why I like science because I like to do a lot of experiment. All right. So be careful with the questions. For example, the last question, the word subjects. Okay. So the word subjects is plural. So meaning to say you need to state at least two favorite subjects. All right. Can we move on? Okay. So that's the end of part one. Now we move on to part two, which is an individual long term. Okay. Bear in mind, part two is all about individual task, right? So in this part, you are given 3 to 4 minutes. The interlocutor will give each candidate an individual task. So candidates are given 20 seconds to prepare. And you need to speak for about 1 minute on the topic, right? And then the candidate will be asked a question pertaining to your partner's topic. So you are only given 20 seconds to respond. Okay. We will start with candidate A first, right? So the interlocutor will place a booklet for part 2 in front of candidate A. Candidate A will be given 20 seconds to prepare for his or her topic. Use the time given, which is the 20 seconds, to go through the questions, or you skim the questions and prepare quick mental notes. When time is up, candidate A is given only 1 minute to talk about his or her topic. Then, candidate B will be asked a short question pertaining to candidate's A topic. Okay, so um, candidate B, you are given 20 seconds to respond, right? Okay, so this is the example of the question for candidate A. So the topic is eating out. Now, let us look at what are the questions for this topic. Describe your experience eating out. You should say how often you eat out, who you usually eat out with, if you enjoy eating out, why or why not, and why some people prefer to eat out. All right. So bear in mind, when you look at the third and the fourth bullet point, okay, you need to give reason. You need to state your reason, okay, because there is why there. Why or why not? Why some people prefer to eat out. So you need to get ready with the reason. Okay. So let us look at this one. The interlocutor may say this in front of you. In this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you a topic. I'd like you to talk about them on your own for about a minute. You also need to answer a question briefly about your practice topic. Candidate A or the interlocutor will mention your name. For example, Amir, it's your turn first. Here's your task. I'd like you to talk about eating out. First, you have some time to think what you are going to say. Okay, and then candidate A is given 20 seconds to prepare. So as I mentioned earlier on, during these 20 seconds, candidate A, you need to skim the questions, or you need to read through the questions and try to understand. And you have to prepare your quick mental notes. Okay. Um, I believe that your English teacher already advised you, or already mentioned to you, that you are not allowed to bring your pen, your pencil, or the notes. Okay, for you to jot down. No, right? So you have to prepare a quick mental note. Okay, and skim through the questions. Right. So after 20 seconds, the interlocutor will say this. All right, you may start now. So here is the suggested answer. Okay. For example, how often you eat out? I probably go to a restaurant to eat once in a month. Who you usually eat out with? I always go out to eat with my sister, as we share the same taste buds when it comes to the choices of food. If you enjoy eating out, why or why not? I usually avoid eating outside and prefer to eat homemade food because homemade food items have better taste and healthier. Why some people prefer to eat out? In my opinion, Some people prefer to eat out to save time because cooking takes a lot of time, like preparing the ingredients, cleaning, etc. That's why some people enjoy eating out. All right, boys and girls, when you look at the third and the fourth bullet point, okay, these two questions require you to give reasons. So when you look at the sample answer, okay, for example, the third for the third answer, there is a reason. Okay, the reason is because homemade food items have better taste and healthier. All right. So the next bullet point, why some people prefer to eat out. In my opinion, some people prefer to eat out to save time. Then there is because. Okay, the reason you need to give your reason. All right. Okay. After you answer all the questions, then the interlocutor will say this to you. Thank you. Candidate B or interlocutor will mention the name. For example, Ali, which restaurant that you ever been and why? So, candidate B needs to tell the name of the restaurant that he or she has ever been and give reason why he or she chose that restaurant. Okay, you need to give reason. Okay, now we move on to candidate B. It's the same thing like candidate A. The interlocutor will place a booklet for part 2 in front of candidate B, and candidate B will be given 20 seconds to prepare for his or her topic. Use the time to go through or skim the questions and prepare quick mental notes. When time is up, candidate B is given 1 minute to talk about his or her topic. Then, candidate A will be asked a short question pertaining to candidate B's topic, and candidate A is given 20 seconds to respond. Now, let us look at the example here. This is for candidate B. Okay, so the topic for candidate B is a place you would like to visit. Talk about a place that you have always wanted to visit. You should say the name of the place, why you are attracted to that place, why you would like to do there, who you would like to go with, and why. All right. So the interlocutor will say this. Thank you. Amir, can I have the booklet, please? Now, Ali, here's your task. I'd like you to talk about a place you would like to visit. First, you have some time to think about what you are going to say. So, candidate B is given 20 seconds to prepare. So, within these 20 seconds, you have to understand. First you need to skim the questions, read through the questions, and try to understand what the questions want you to answer. Okay, and then you have to prepare your quick mental notes. Right. So when the time is up, the interlocutor will say this to you. All right, you may start now. So here is the suggested answer. You should say the name of the place. The place I always wanted to visit is Bako National Park. why you are attracted to that place. I am attracted to that place because it is a perfect introduction of Sarawak's forest and wildlife. What you would like to do there? If I have the chance, I would like to explore the jungle to witness the flora and fauna. I also would like to take many photos as my memories. Who you would like to go with and why? I would like to go there with my friends because some of my friends like nature and love adventure too. Okay, so when you look at the questions, bullet number 2 and number 4, these two questions require you to give reason why you are attracted to that place because it is a perfect introduction of Sarawak's forest and wildlife. And the last one, who? The question asks you who you would like to go with and why. So you need to state who would you like to go with. For example, here with my friends. And then you need to give reason why you want to go with your friends. Because some of my friends like nature and love adventure too. All right? So when the time is up, the interlocutor will say, thank you. Amir, where would you like to visit and why? So the interlocutor will ask your partner pertaining to your topic, right? Where would you like to visit? Okay, and you need to give reason. Okay, why would you like to go there? Okay, and candidate A needs to respond within 20 seconds. All right. So don't forget to say that's all from me. Okay. If you done with your answering the all the questions, you can say that's all from me. Thank you. Okay. You can say that to the interlocutor. All right. Shall we move on? Okay. So that's the end of part 2. Now, some important reminders to all of you. Okay. Number one, listen to the question carefully. If you if you are unclear about the question, you may ask the interlocutor, could you please repeat the question? Okay. But I don't think so. You might use could you please repeat the question? You might not use this kind of question because the booklet is in front of you. Okay. So uh, as I mentioned earlier on, you need to skim the questions, go through the questions, and try to understand. Okay, try to understand what the questions want you to do. Okay, what the questions want you to answer. Okay, number two, you need to answer in complete sentences. Okay, you don't give a short answer. For example, the place that you would like to go or the place that you would like to visit. This is just for example, huh? I visit Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so it's a grammatical error. Okay, and another one is a very short answer. So you can say I would like to visit. Okay, all right. So number three, be aware of the grammar. And number four, you may use cohesive devices such as moreover, furthermore, etc. if necessary, right? The last one is please end by saying, that's all from me. Thank you. Okay. All right. Now, what if the candidates are unable to respond? Yes, we have the candidates who would love to sit there and just look at the interlocutor. Okay. So they are unable to respond because of the beautiful teacher or the handsome teacher in front of you. Okay, so what if the candidates are unable to respond? So let's say the topic is eating out. Okay, all of the questions here, the candidate is doesn't know what to do, doesn't know what to answer. Okay, what the interlocutor can do is to use the backup prompts. Okay, so the interlocutor may say like this: what can you say about how often you eat out? Right? And the candidate is still um, does not respond to the question. So the interlocutor will go to the next one by asking you, tell me more about who you usually eat out with. All right? Okay, so these are the backup prompts to be used by the interlocutor if the candidates are unable to respond. All right? Okay. Now, let us move to part three, discussion. So this part is crucial. Okay. Part three, discussion. It involves the candidates to discuss, to decide, and to give opinion. Right. So part three, um, you are given in part three. You are given 4 to 5 minutes, and the interlocutor gives a topic to candidates. There are two parts of the task. The first part is the discussion, whereby you are given 2 minutes, and the second part is the decision, whereby you are given only 1 minute to decide. Okay, and after that, in the first part, you need to talk about the points. When you talk about the points, the candidate, please, you uh, you need to delegate. Okay, you need to delegate the points. For example, candidate A will take 3 points. Candidate B will take another 3 points. Okay, the time allocation is 1 minute for each candidate, right? And then the second part, you need to decide the best choice. Okay, which one is the best? Okay, you need to make a decision. So in this part, you need to discuss with your partner which one is the best point. Okay, and then after that, the interlocutor will ask another question, which is a broader question. This is actually hot question. Okay, asking the candidates or asking you to give opinion. Okay, so don't get confused. We'll explain further what is part one, part two, and the broader question is all about. Okay, now, um, when you are given a booklet in front of you, okay, you need to divide your points to discuss. Okay, for example, as I mentioned earlier on, you can discuss with your partner, and then you can say, you can take 3 points, 2 or 3 points, or another partner will take 2 or 3 points. All right. So this is during the 20 second the 20 seconds discussion. Okay, so 20 seconds is not that long. Okay, this during this 20 seconds you have to be quick. Okay, so you can ask your partner, uh, if you don't understand the meaning of the word, Okay, what is this word? What does it mean? You can ask your partner. Okay, so after that, when the 20 seconds is up, um, you need to interact with each other. Okay, what does it mean here? Meaning, you need to look at your friend, you talk to your friend. Okay, you look at uh, the eyes of your friend. You don't look at the interlocutor. Okay, so and after that, you express your opinion. Okay, you need to give your opinion, and then last but not least, whether you agree or disagree with your partner. Right. So don't worry. I will show you the sample answer. Right. Okay. Now the first part of the discussion. Okay. So you are given 2 minutes, and the interlocutor will say this to you. Now, I'd like you to talk about something together for about 3 minutes. The task will have 2 parts. You will discuss something with each other for about 2 minutes. Then, in the second part, you will have another minute to make a decision together. All right? Let's begin with the discussion task. As teenager, you are disappointed that people are still using plastic. Here are some suggestions to reduce plastic and a question for you to discuss. First, you have some time to look at the task. Okay. Then when you look at the task, you are given 20 seconds to prepare. So as I mentioned, these 20 seconds, you look at this task, there are 6 points. So you need to delegate the task. You need to delegate the point. Okay. So you can take 3 points. So your partner will take 3 points. This is the only time for you to discuss and ask your friend, um, what does the word mean. Okay. For example, let's say you don't know what is avoid. You ask your partner. Okay. You ask your partner what is avoid. So with these 20 seconds, the interlocutor and the assessor will not award marks. Okay, during the 20-second discussion. Okay, the interlocutor and the assessor will not award marks, meaning you can use your mother tongue. Okay, you can use BM, you can use Mandarin, you can use IBAN, etc. Okay, but only during these 20 seconds. Only during this 20-second discussion. Okay, so when the time is up, the interlocutor will say this to you. Now, talk to each other about ways to reduce plastic. So, when the interlocutor say this to you, do not use your BM, do not use Mandarin, do not use IBAN, etc. Okay, so as I mentioned to you, only the 20 seconds discussion. Okay, the 20-second discussion, you can use your mother tongue. Okay, for example, nama maksud tu. Okay, nama maksud tu deh. Okay, all right. Okay, so I hope you understand. Okay, so after the interlocutor say, now talk to each other about ways to reduce plastic, you are not allowed to use um, your mother tongue. Okay, because the interlocutor and the assessor will award marks. All right. Okay. So as you can see here, there are 6 ways to reduce plastic. Okay. So you delegate the task to your partner. Okay. You take 3 points, and another partner uh, will take 3 points. Okay. Do not forget to use sentence structures. Okay. When to start, normally candidate A will start first. That's normally. Okay. Normally candidate A start first, but candidate B can start first as well. All right. It depends. So To start, you can say like this. Let me begin first. Or, first of all, or let me start the topic for the discussion. Do not forget to use the sequence connectors. Right? For example, firstly, for the first point, okay, first of all, it's the same thing you use for the first point. Secondly, for the second point, or lastly, for the last point. Okay? To end the session, don't forget to say this. That's all from me. Anything else you would like to say? Okay? Now, let us look at the best answer. Okay, so you, as you can see here, there are two candidates, candidate A and candidate B. The answer for candidate A, the sample answer for candidate B. So candidate A, we say, let me start the topic for the discussion. Candidate B, sure. Candidate A, there are many ways to reduce plastic. First of all, see, first of all, for the first point, bring own shopping bag, especially when we buy groceries. Okay, and then with details. This is to reduce the use of plastic bag among consumers. Secondly, for the second point, what is the second point? Start recycling, especially waste materials. Okay, by doing so, then you give details. It conserves energy, reduces air and water pollution, reduces greenhouse gases, and conserves natural resources. And you ask your partner, how about you? And candidate B or your partner will say this, I agree with you. In my point of view, so this one, this phrase you use to state the first point, okay, for candidate B. We can use paper bags. Then you give details, okay, elaboration. Yes. So paper bags have some advantages over plastic bags when it comes to sustainability. They are easier to recycle, and because they are biodegradable, they can be used for purpose like composting. Secondly, okay, you use secondly for the second point. We need to avoid plastic packaging. The second point here is avoid plastic packaging. We know that plastic can take thousands of years to biodegrade. Can you imagine the amount of plastic in the landfill sites? Okay, then back to candidate A. I totally agree with you. The last point I would like to say is, you see, in this sentence, this candidate used the last point because the candidate wants to mention the final point. Okay, what's the final point here? Say no to plastic straw and cutlery. Those plastic straws and cutlery simply break into ever smaller particles, releasing chemicals into the soil, air, and water that are harmful to animals, plants, people, and the environment. This is actually the elaboration. So, how the candidate A ends his or her session? By saying, that's all from me. Anything else you would like to say? Now back to candidate B. Candidate B can say, the final point I would like to talk is, you see, the final point. Okay, you can use this phrase. The final point I would like to talk is, and you state the point. Buying products made of biodegradable materials. There are many biodegradable products in the market nowadays. Biodegradable products break down naturally. They eventually decompose and are consumed by soil and other natural components. Okay, this is actually the elaboration. That's all from me. Thank you. That's how you end the session. That's all from me. Thank you. All right. Now, let's say if the candidates have no idea what to talk about, okay, it is impossible, you cannot do it. Okay, if it is impossible, you cannot say, okay, anything, right? Now, let's say if you have no idea, here is the suggestion that you can do. All right, you don't freak out, relax. Here's what you can do. Okay, candidate A, candidate B. All right, candidate A starts first. Let me start the topic for the discussion. And candidate B says, sure. All right, there are many ways to reduce plastic. First of all, okay, then you tell you mention the point, the first point. Bring own shopping bag. Secondly, start recycling like bottles and newspapers. Okay, when you look at the second point, the candidate is able to give example. Okay, what are the things that you can recycle? And after that, the candidate A will say this. How about you? I agree with you. For me, one of the ways to reduce plastic is use paper bag. This one is the first point from candidate B. So candidate B can say, secondly, okay, to mention the second point, we need to avoid plastic packaging. Now back to candidate A, I totally agree with you. The last point I would like to say is say no to plastic straw and cutlery. That's all from me. Anything else you would like to say? Okay, you can say you can mention your partner's name as well. For example, that's all from me. Anything else you would like to say, Ali? All right. So Ali or candidate B will say the final point I would like to talk is buying products made of biodegradable materials. That's all from me. Thank you. Okay, so as you can see here, there are 3 points given by candidate A and 3 points mentioned by candidate B. Okay, now you may ask me, teacher, I have to elaborate? Definitely, yes, you have to elaborate. But this suggested answer is for those who are unable to respond to the question. Okay, who are unable to say anything. Okay, all right. So this is the just a suggested answer. Instead of you just sit there looking at the beautiful interlocutor and beautiful assessor, you were speechless. Okay, looking at the handsome teacher, the handsome assessor, speechless. You have nothing to say. Okay, so don't be right. So you must say something rather than you sit there keep quiet. Okay, if you keep quiet, definitely you will not get any marks, right? Okay, so far so good. All right. Now, the second part in part 3 is you need to make a decision. Okay, you are given 1 minute to decide. Okay, so the interlocutor will say this to you. Thank you. Now you have about a minute to decide together which is the best way to reduce plastic, right? Okay, so in this part, you need to discuss with your partner and then you need to decide. You decide and you choose one. You choose one of the ideas, one out of 6 ideas. Okay, the best one. Okay, so here is the sample answer. Okay, as I mentioned earlier on, the interlocutor will say this to you. Now you have about a minute to decide together which is the best way to reduce plastic. Okay, so candidate A can start first. Okay, it is up to you. It is not necessary candidate A will start first. Okay, so candidate B can start first, but normally candidate A will start first. Right? So, if the candidate A starts first, what you can do is you need to mention this. We have decided that. Okay, you need to say we. Okay, because this is during this part you need to decide together. Okay, you need to decide with your partner and then you need to choose one. Okay, the best way. All right, so you use we, you don't use I have decided. Okay, so bear in mind, use we. Okay, we have decided that the best way is to bring on shopping bag. If we use more plastic bags, the more we are going to pollute our land and water. You give a little bit of elaboration. Okay, and then candidate B, you don't keep quiet. Okay, you say yes. To sum up, the new generation needs to think of a way to reduce plastic. So the best way is we need to bring our own shopping bag. That's all from us. Okay, don't forget to say that's all from us. Okay, now let's say candidate B um, has nothing to say. Okay, has nothing to say. What you can do is you say, yes, I agree with you. Okay, yes, I agree with you. That's all from us. Okay, the reason why I say this mostly, we did the trial the other day again, for this part, right? So candidate B just keep quiet. Okay, so you don't have to keep quiet. Please do not keep quiet. You need to respond to your partner. Okay, all right. Now we move on to the next one, the final part. The final part in part 3. Okay, this final part is crucial. Okay, which which the question requires you to give opinion, and it is hot question as well. Okay, so both candidates needs to give opinion. Okay, candidate A, you need to give one opinion. Candidate B, at least you need to give one opinion. So the duration is 2 minutes. You are given 2 minutes, okay, to give your opinion, right? So the interlocutor will say this to you. Hey, thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? Okay, you've been talking about ways to reduce plastic. Now, let's hear your opinion on this. To what extent will the use of plastic harm our environment? Okay, now, boys and girls, this part, the question is not given to you on the booklet. Okay, it is not in the booklet. Okay, it is not in the booklet. All right. So the interrogator will ask you verbally this question. So if you like you cannot hear well the question, or what is the question, you may ask the interlocutor to repeat. For example, could you repeat the question? Okay, could you repeat the question? Now, I believe that um, some of the students, they don't understand to what extent. What's that? What does it mean? To what extent? Okay. So to what extent is actually how. Okay. How you need to listen to the next one. Okay. To what extent will the use of plastic harm our environment? The question is actually asking you how the use of plastic harm our environment. How the use of plastic harm our environment. Okay, you don't freak out with the phrase to what extent. Okay, what you need to do is you need to listen to the next part. Okay, what the question wants you to answer. Okay, the use of plastic harm our environment, or it's actually how the use of plastic harm our environment. Okay, all right. Now, so this is a sample answer for candidate A and candidate B. So candidate A start first. Okay, candidate B can start first as well. You know your partner well, right? So if you know your partner, so you can start first. All right. So candidate A, this is just for example, huh? Candidate A may say like this: may I start first? In my opinion, the use of plastic harm our environment as it is non-degradable. It takes hundreds of years to degrade. Therefore, it is dangerous to our planet. What is your opinion? Then mention the name. For example, what is your opinion, Ali? I think plastic bag contains with toxic and harmful chemical. If we burn it, the smoke is hazardous, not only to our environment but human being too. That's all from me. Do you have any idea, Amir? Okay, so candidate B can ask candidate A. Who knows candidate A has uh, opinion, right? Another opinion, right? So if there's no more other opinion, you can say, I think that's all from me. Thank you. Right? Okay. So as I need to stress here, uh, for the last part in part three, it is very, very crucial. Okay. The last part is a hot question whereby each of the candidate needs to give opinion. Okay. All right. Now, after that, the interlocutor will say this to you. Thank you, um, Amir and Ali. That's the end of the speaking test. Right now, some important reminders. Okay, boys and girls, read thoroughly the content points. Okay, so meaning you skim. Okay, be quick because you are only given 20 seconds. Okay, be quick, right? Look at the content points and then you delegate the points. Okay. For example, I'll take 3 points. You take another 3 points. Okay. Can you take one? Yes, you can take on 1 point, but bear in mind you are given 1 minute. Okay. So that's why I advise you do not skip the points. Okay. So make sure you take 3 points. Your friend or your partner takes another 3 points. Okay. Do not forget to use the sequence connectors. For example, firstly, when you mention the first point. Secondly, when you mention the second point. Lastly, for the last point. Okay. You may use cohesive devices as well. Okay. If necessary. Right. For example of cohesive devices, besides, moreover, furthermore. Okay. I believe you have learned these cohesive devices with your teacher. Right. And the next one is do not dominate the session. Dominate here means do not conquer. Do not conquer the session, right? So you take all the points, okay? You don't believe your partner. You don't hate. You don't like your partner. No, don't. Okay. So you must help your partner. Okay. Uh, don't be biased, right? So as I mentioned, you take three, another partner you take three, okay, and do not dominate the session. So please have eye contact with your partner. You look at your partner, you don't look at the interlocutor. The interlocutor is your own teacher. I believe you have a very nice teacher, good looking, beautiful teacher. All right. Okay. Last one is please end uh, in, please end each session by saying that's all from me. Thank you. Okay. Now, boys and girls, avoid using broken English, especially by ending any word or sentences with lah, lor, ma, another one, kan. Normally, the Malay always say kan. Okay. The Chinese always say la, lo, ma. All right. Okay. So, for example, uncle, please give me more discount law. There's no law. Try avoid using law. You don't have to worry, ma. Okay lah. Okay, avoid. Okay. The next one. I think the best way is can. Don't you think? Avoid can. All right. Okay. Okay. Boys and girls, teachers, thank you for listening. I really hope you have gained good tips. I hope it is a fruitful session which can help you in your speaking test later on. Okay, so stay tuned for the next session, which is listening paper 1119 stroke 4. Okay, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Sorry. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Cikgu Hanapi, for the in-depth explanation. I hope you are all more confident to tackle this paper. We won't take any questions now, but please do post in the comment section. We will only answer all questions at the end of both sessions. We will take a short break for about a minute maybe to stretch your limbs, all right? So please join us again in the next session for the 1119-4 listening paper. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay. Right. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Cikgu Hanapi, to another webinar session to tackle paper 4, 1119 stroke 4, listening. Without further ado, let us welcome again Cikgu Hanapi.
Much, Madam Teo. Hello, boys and girls, teachers. We are back. Okay. So just now we had um, speaking. Yeah, just now we had speaking 1119 stroke 3. Now we move on to the next paper, which is listening 1119 stroke 4. Okay, are you guys ready? All right, so I will share you the slides. Okay. All right, boys and girls. There are a few ways for you to improve your listening. Okay. Number one is listening to English programs on the radio. And number two, you can listen to English songs. Number three, you watch English movies. And number four, have lots of listening practice with your teachers. Okay, or you can do it on your own as well. Okay, so when we look at number two and number three, okay, number two and number three, yes. Listen to English songs and watch English movies. I believe that you love listen to. Sorry, what happened to me? Okay, I know you love to listen to English songs very much, don't you? Yes. Okay. So you have your favorite singers, you have your favorite songs, right? So most of you listen to English songs, right? So it is impossible that you are not doing well. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You are not doing well in listening paper, okay? And you love watch English movies, don't you? Okay, tell me, what is the latest English movie that you watched recently? Okay, All right. Okay, now we move to the next one. Let us look at the guideline. Okay. Now, for listening, the duration is 40 minutes, as you know, and the listening test consists of four parts: part one, part two, part three, and part four. The number of questions altogether there are 30 questions, and the total marks is 30 marks, and the weightage is 25% of the overall grade. So, I would like to stress here each of the English papers. For example, paper one. Paper one is the objective. Okay, the reading. Yeah, reading. So paper two is writing. Paper three is speaking. Paper four is listening. So each of these paper, the weightage is 25%. Okay, the weightage is 25%. So let's say in listening test, you score 30 marks out of 30. Okay, 30 out of 30 marks. We need to say full marks, right? So full marks. So 30 marks, if you were to convert in the percent, is 25%. Okay, 25%. So make sure you know this. Make sure you know how to calculate. All right. Now let us look at the test format. We go for part one first. For part one, okay, part one is all about dialogues or monologues. There are 7 MCQs with 3 options. With the total mark 7 marks, right? The MCQs stands for the multiple choice questions, meaning to say whether you want to choose A, B, or C. The three options. The three options are A, B, or C. Okay. Dialogues normally the conversation between two person. Okay. The monologues means a speech. It could be a long speech. It could be a short speech. Okay, or dialogue by an I'm sorry. Monologue is the speech. It could be the long speech or short speech. Okay, by an individual person. Okay, so again, part one, the total mark is 7 marks, right? And there's 7 questions as well. So part two is about narrative or informational monologue. Right? Narrative is a story. Okay. Informational monologue, it could be information about someone. Okay. So there are 8 MCQs or 8 questions with 3 options as well: A, B, and C. So the total mark is 8 marks. All right. Now, part three is a short monologue. Okay. What is monologue? What is monologue? It's a speech. It's a short speech by an individual person. Okay. So for part three, there are 5 matching questions. Okay. And 7 options given. You need to say there are 7 answers. But you need to choose whether the answer is A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. Okay, there are 7 options, but there are only 5 questions. So, meaning to say there are 2 distractors. Okay, in the options, 7 options, 2 are the distractors. The total marks is 5 marks. So the last part is part four, the dialogue. Okay, it could be a dialogue between a reporter and an artist. Okay, there are 10 blanks. Okay, there are 10 blanks given. So you need to write only one word answer. But then again, it depends on the rubric. Okay, rubric means the instruction. If you must read this, you must read the instruction. You must read the rubric. So if the rubric says one word answer, meaning to say is only one word answer. If the rubric says not more than two words, so it can be one word, it can be two words answer, not more than two. Okay, but normally it's one word answer. Okay, normally it is one word answer. So the total mark is 10 marks. All right. Now, tips and techniques in listening. So let us hear this one. You will hear an introduction of the listening test. You ready?
This is the SPM listening test. There are 4 parts to the test. You will hear each part twice. For each part of the test, there will time for you to look through the questions and time for you to check your answers. Write your answers on the question paper. You will have 6 minutes at the end of the test to copy your answers onto the answer sheet. The recording will now be stopped. Please ask any questions now, because you must not speak during the test.
Okay.
Now open your question paper and look at part 1. There are 7 questions in this part. You will hear people talking in 7 different situations. For questions 1 to 7, choose the correct answer A, B, or C. You will hear each recording twice. Answer all the questions. You now have 20 seconds to look at the questions.
Okay. So you just listen to an introduction of the listening test. Okay. Now,
This is the SPM listening test. There are 4 parts to.
all right. Now we will start with part 1, which is the dialogues or monologues, questions number 1 until 7. So when you receive the test paper, all right, when you receive the test paper, read the rubric as it gives you information. As I mentioned earlier on, rubric means instruction. Okay, rubric means instruction. So you read the instruction first because the instruction gives you the information. Right? So then after that, you need to skim the questions, meaning you need to read quickly, read fast. Okay, the questions, you go through the questions, right? And highlight the keywords at the same time. You highlight the keywords of phrases at the same time. Okay, then after that, you need to focus and listen to the audio on short situations given for the first round and identify the similar or the associate keyword in the audio and the test paper. Okay, and then after that, you need to identify which could be the precise answer and listen to the audios for the second time. And then you need to choose the best answer, either A, B, or C. Okay, now let us practice. For part 1, you know part 1, there are 7 questions, right? So for this session, we only do 3 questions, yeah? Okay, bear in mind in the SPM listening test for part 1, there are 7 questions. So for the purpose of today's session, I can only give you 3 questions out of 7 questions. Okay, now let's practice. Okay, are you ready? Look at question number 1. What should customers do if they wish to return an item purchased? So try to identify the keywords. Okay. What do you think the keyword? Okay, the item purchase. Okay, item purchase. If the customer wish to return the item purchase, okay, what should the customers do? Okay, now I want you to listen to the audio. Ready?
Look at question 1. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully. You hear a man talking about the return policy of a clothing store.
We have a 14-day return policy in our store. However, items on sale are not refundable. Normal priced clothes can be returned together in their original packaging, with price tags still intact and unworn. Refunds will be offered in the form of store credits. You can use the credits to purchase other items in our store. But if we find the returned item in an unsatisfactory condition, we have the right to refuse your request.
Now, listen again. You hear a man talking about the return policy of a clothing store.
We have a 14-day return policy in our store. However, items on sale are not refundable. Normal priced clothes can be returned together in their original packaging, with price tags still intact and unworn. Refunds will be offered in the form of store credits. You can use the credits to purchase other items in our store. But if we find the returned item in an unsatisfactory condition, we have the right to refuse your request.
All right, boys. Okay, boys and girls. All right, so you got the answer? What do you think the answer is? Do you think A, do not remove the price tag? B, do not try the clothes on? C, buy discounted items? Which one do you think the answer is? Okay, so yeah, yes, the answer is yes, the answer is A. Do not remove the price tag. So why the answer is A? Because in the audio, when you listen carefully just now, it stated that normal price clothes can be returned together in their original packaging with price tags still intact and unworn. Okay, so you must be asking me why the answer is not B. Do not try the clothes on. Why the answer is not B? Although the word unworn is stated by the speaker. Okay, so when you look at the two in this extract, when you look at this extract, there are two answers with price tags still intact and unworn. Okay, which one comes first? Which idea comes first? Of course, price tag still intact, right? So we take the first one. Okay, the second one, it is not wrong, but of course we need to take the first one. First come, first serve. Remember? Okay, you know that that phrase, right? First come, first serve. All right. So the answer is with price tags still intact. Okay, so we take the first one. So do not remove the price tag. Okay. Now let us look at the second one, number 4. This is the extract. Okay, the extract question. Question 4 for in part 1. Okay, according to the text, why are products placed at eye level? Okay, A, to promote a new range of products. B, to advertise the product of the week. C, to make it easier for customers to see other products. All right. Okay, so try to find the keywords. Here is placed at eye level. Okay, placed at eye level. Okay, so now let us listen to the audio.
Look at question 4. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully. You hear a man giving an explanation about some supermarket products.
We are now at the dried foodstuff aisle in Safe Mart. The popular brands are normally placed in the middle of the aisles so that customers will be able to see other products first. The more high-end food products are normally placed at the end of the aisles. Each week, the management of the mall will decide which product brands to promote. So we will arrange the products at the most ideal spot at eye level. This is the way to market the range of products.
Now, listen again. You hear a man giving an explanation about some supermarket products.
We are now at the dried foodstuff aisle in Safe Mart. The popular brands are normally placed in the middle of the aisles so that customers will be able to see other products first. The more high-end food products are normally placed at the end of the aisles. Each week, the management of the mall will decide which product brands to promote. So we will arrange the products at the most ideal spot at eye level. This is the way to market the range of products.
Okay. All right, boys and girls, what do you think the answer is? A, B, or C? Okay. So the answer is, there you go. The answer is B, to advertise the product of the week. Okay, why the answer is B? Now let us look at the extract of the speech in the audio. It says each week. So that is the clue. Yeah. Each week, the management of the mall will decide which product brands to promote. So here it means that to advertise the product. Okay. So you need to be careful. All right. Okay. So now we move to the next one. Ready? Question number 6. In order to produce the shoes, they were first washed, brushed, colored. Okay, so what do you think the keyword here is? To produce the shoes. Okay, ready to listen to the audio?
Look at question 6. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully. You hear a man promoting a new range of sports shoes.
Check out our latest collection of sports shoes made of recycled plastic bottles. Each pair is made of 10 bottles that have been cleaned and sanitized thoroughly. Some of them were fished out from the sea. That is before the plastic bottles are broken down into tiny chips before being processed into shoes. So get your pair of colorful, stylish, and durable shoes today.
Now, listen again. You hear a man promoting a new range of sports shoes.
Check out our latest collection of sports shoes made of recycled plastic bottles. Each pair is made of 10 bottles that have been cleaned and sanitized thoroughly. Some of them were fished out from the sea. That is before the plastic bottles are broken down into tiny chips before being processed into shoes. So get your pair of colorful, stylish, and durable shoes today.
All right. Okay. Boys and girls, what do you think the answer is? Okay, so the answer is A, washed. Why the answer is A, washed? Because it stated that each pair is made of 10 bottles that have been cleaned and sanitized thoroughly. Okay, clean and sanitized. So it means washed. Okay, so this one is very easy, right? Okay. Right. So give me a second. Okay, I'm very sorry for that. So I need to charge my lappy. Now, let us move to the next one. Okay, now we move to part two, which is narrative and or informational monologues. Okay, questions number 8 until 15. So for part two, again, first thing first that you need to do is you need to skip the questions or uh, read through the questions, and then you need to highlight the keywords or phrases. Focus, pay attention, listen to the audio given, okay, for the first round, and identify the similar or associate keyword in the audio and the test paper. Number 4, you need to identify which could be the precise answer. Number 5, you need to listen to the audio for the second time. And 6, of course, you need to choose the best answer, A, B, or C. Okay. Now, for this part, for part 2, we are going to do only 3 questions. Okay. So okay, so I only give you the only, sorry, 3 questions, huh? All right. So now let us look at this question. Which of these is not the quality Bang Se-yuk wants in his new boy band? Is it A, humility, B, sincerity, C, perfection? Right? So what do you think the answer is? But before that, you need to highlight the keywords, the important, what the questions want you to get. So, not the quality, okay? Not the quality in his new boy band. Okay, so now let us listen to the audio.
For questions 8 to 15, circle the correct answer, A, B, or C. When Bang Si-hyuk, a successful songwriter and music producer, started his own company Big Hit Entertainment, he wanted to form a group of down-to-earth boys. Bang wanted the band members to have authentic personalities who could talk openly about the struggles faced in their career. Now, listen again. When Bang Si-hyuk, a successful songwriter and music producer, started his own company Big Hit Entertainment, he wanted to form a group of down-to-earth boys. Bang wanted the band members to have authentic personalities who could talk openly about the struggles faced in their career.
Okay, all right. So which one is your answer? Is it A, humility, B, sincerity, C, perfection? So which one? Okay, so the correct answer is C, perfection. Why the answer is C is stated. It mentioned in the audio. Okay, the last part. Okay, sorry. The first part, he wanted to form a group of down-to-earth boys. Okay, so this down-to-earth shows sincerity. Okay, so band wanted the band members to have authentic personalities. Okay, a sincerity who could talk openly about the struggles faced in their career. Right. So the last point is saying he felt that the K-pop industry has enough of boy bands with a perfect image. Okay, so Bang Si-hyuk, um, he didn't want the perfect image because it's already in the K-pop industry. So, of course, the answer is C. All right. Congratulations for those who got it correct. Okay, now let us look at the next question. How many years did it take for Bang to finally form BTS? How many years? Okay, so how many years? All right. Is it 2, 3, 7? Now let us listen to the audio.
He felt that the K-pop industry has enough of boy bands with a perfect image. It took him 36 months of auditions with more than 100 talents. He tried out various combinations until he finally put together 7 boys in 2013. Now, listen again. He felt that the K-pop industry has enough of boy bands with a perfect image. It took him 36 months of auditions with more than 100 talents. He tried out various combinations until he finally put together 7 boys in 2013.
So what do you think the answer is? Very easy, right? Okay, what do you think the answer? A, B, or C? Yeah, so the answer is 3. Okay, so why the answer is B, 3? Okay, so we say look at the second extract, the second bullet. It took him 36 months of auditions with more than 100 talents. So 36 months, if you convert to years, how many? Yes, 3. All right. So the last part, when you listen to the audio just now, is stated 7. The word 7. It's not 7 years. It's 7 boys. Okay. So the word 7 here is the distractor. Okay. So that's why you have to listen carefully. 36 months equivalent to 3 years. All right. Okay. Now let's look at the last one. BTS was named Bantan Sonyedan, so that the members, I hope I pronounce this correctly, the members will A, take criticism well, B, fulfill others' demands, C, not get stressed easily. Okay, so the members will what? Listen to the audio.
The band was originally called Bangtan Sonyeondan, which means Bulletproof Boy Scouts. He wanted the name to represent the members' strength in facing judgments and meeting unrealistic expectations from people around them. Now, listen again. The band was originally called Bangtan Sonyeondan, which means Bulletproof Boy Scouts. He wanted the name to represent the members' strength in facing judgments and meeting unrealistic expectations from people around them.
So what do you think the answer is? Is it A, B, or C? All right, so the answer is A. Okay, congratulations for those who got it correct. Okay, why the answer is A? Here it is. Okay, you wanted the name to represent the member's strength in facing judgment. So, the word judgment here is actually the criticism. Okay, criticism and meeting unrealistic expectations. This is the distractor. Okay, so we take the first answer. Remember the first idea. Okay, it's not B. All right. Okay, so be careful. All right. Okay. Now the next one. You ready for the next one? We move on to part 3. Part 3, short monologues. Okay, questions number 16 until 20. So what you need to do in this part is, again, you need to skim the 7 extracts given. Okay, two extracts are distractors. 2 extracts are distractors. So you highlight the keywords or phrases, focus and listen to the audio given for the first round, and then identify the similar or the associate keyword in the audio and the test paper. Okay, remember, identify the associate keyword or the similar. So number 4, identify or choose which could be the precise answer A to G. Listen to the audio for the second time and then choose the best answer from A to G. Now let us do this one. Okay, so you need to read the extracts first. A to G. A, I love taking photographs of skyscrapers, so I love taking photographs. Okay, so I do research before traveling, do research. Traveling is about food, family. Okay, the keywords. I learn about history, culture, the keywords. I enjoy less popular destinations. Okay, less popular destinations. I prefer a small organized tour. Small organized tour. The keyword. I like thrilling experience. Thrilling experience. Keywords. Okay, now let us listen to the audio. Okay, so for this part, we'll do all. Okay, question 16 until 20.
You will hear 5 short extracts in which teenagers are talking about their preferences when they travel. For questions 16 to 20, choose from the list A to G what each speaker says. Use the letters only once. There are 2 extra letters which you do not need to use. You will hear the recording twice. Answer all the questions. You now have 20 seconds to look at the questions. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully. Speaker 1. I only travel with tour groups with a proper tourist guide. When I go on a holiday, I want to sit back and enjoy wherever I am taken to, instead of wandering around alone. Tour groups are more expensive, but I don't want to compromise on my safety in a foreign land.
Speaker 2. I enjoy reading about the places I'm going to visit and planning my own itinerary. Not all tourist spots appeal to me, so I would like to choose the places myself and avoid crowds.
My biggest achievement is when I discover relatively unknown beautiful locations and cozy cafes on my own.
Speaker 3. I'm a very adventurous person. There are so many thrill-seeking activities on my bucket list. I would like to try activities that get my adrenaline flowing. I have swum with the sharks in Hawaii, and even survived tandem skydiving in New Zealand with my best friend. I get to enjoy nature at the same time and explore off the beaten paths.
Speaker 4. My family often loves traveling. It is not easy to cater to everyone's interests and needs in a foreign country. We may not be able to visit all popular tourist spots, but we enjoy trying out different local cuisines. We also enjoy taking group photos together in eateries and restaurants.
Speaker 5. I like to rent a car so that I can explore the culture of the places I visit in my own time. I usually stop by old castles to learn more about their history, buy local produce in local markets, and eat hawker food. At the same time, I also try to mingle around with local people as much as possible.
Now, listen again.
Speaker 1. I only travel with tour groups with a proper tourist guide. When I go on a holiday, I want to sit back and enjoy wherever I am taken to, instead of wandering around alone. Tour groups are more expensive, but I don't want to compromise on my safety in a foreign land.
Speaker 2. I enjoy reading about the places I'm going to visit and planning my own itinerary. Not all tourist spots appeal to me, so I would like to choose the places myself and avoid crowds. My biggest achievement is when I discover relatively unknown beautiful locations and cozy cafes on my own.
Speaker 3. I'm a very adventurous person. There are so many thrill-seeking activities on my bucket list. I would like to try activities that get my adrenaline flowing. I have swum with the sharks in Hawaii, and even survived tandem skydiving in New Zealand with my best friend. I get to enjoy nature at the same time and explore off the beaten paths.
Speaker 4. My family often loves traveling. It is not easy to cater to everyone's interests and needs in a foreign country. We may not be able to visit all popular tourist spots, but we enjoy trying out different local cuisines. We also enjoy taking group photos together in eateries and restaurants.
Speaker 5. I like to rent a car so that I can explore the culture of the places I visit in my own time. I usually stop by old castles to learn more about their history, buy local produce in local markets, and eat hawker food. At the same time, I also try to mingle around with local people as much as possible.
That is the end of part 3. Now look at part 4.
Right. So you managed to get the answer. Okay, can we check together? Okay, what do you think the answer for number 16? Speaker 1. Which one is the answer? Are you sure the answer is C? No, right. So the answer is F. Okay. Number 17. What do you think the answer is? B. Yes. Okay. 18. What do you think the answer is? G. Yes, correct. 19. The answer is C. All right. 20. The answer is D. Okay. So let us unpack. Okay. Let us unpack the question. Okay. Why the answer is F, B, G, C, and D. Okay, so 16. The answer is F. I prefer a small organized tour. So speaker, this is from speaker 1. So what is the keyword? The keyword is tour, right? So, so in the audio just now, you could hear the speaker stated that I only travel with tour groups, with a proper tourist guide. Okay. I don't want to compromise on my safety in a foreign land. Now, 17. B. I do research before traveling. Speaker 2. Okay, now let us look at the extract. I enjoy reading about the places. Okay, the keyword here, reading about the places. Okay, I'm going to visit and planning with my own itinerary. I discover relatively unknown beautiful locations. 18. The answer is G. I like thrilling experience. Speaker 3. So the keyword here is thrilling experience. Now you got the keywords here. I am a very adventurous person. I would like to try activities that get my adrenaline flowing. So adrenaline flowing here is referring to the thrilling. It's making the person becomes thrill. Okay. 19. C. Traveling is about food and family time. This one is very easy. Okay. Uh, so in the audio, the speaker stated the word family and traveling. Cuisines is referring to the food, right? So definitely the answer is C. Last one, 20D. I learned about history and culture. This one also is very easy. So the speaker stated that I can explore the culture. The word culture is there in the question, right? Okay, of the places, blah, 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 and to learn more about their history. The word history is stated, and the word history is also in the question, right? So that is how you get the answer, the correct answer, okay? Now, okay, so far so good. Can we move to the next one? So the last part is part 4. There are 10 questions. Okay. Questions number 21 until 30. What you need to do here is skim the text. Okay. Read through, and then you need to identify the tense. Okay. So what is the tense used in the text, in the summary? Okay. It's actually part 4 is the summary. So use your grammar knowledge, focus and listen to the audio given for the first round, and write the first draft answers. Okay, with your pencil, you can use a pencil. Listen to the audio for the second time, double check the answers, especially your spelling. It's very important. If you miss one S, okay, for example, let's say the answer, let's say the answer is once, W-A-N-T-S, but you miss the S, you miss letter S, so it is wrong. Okay, so be careful with your spelling. Okay, and then the last one is write one word answer. Okay, like last year stated that we need to write one word answer. So probably this year also you need to write one word answer. Okay, make sure you read the rubric. Okay, read the instruction. All right. Okay, so far so good. Can we move on? So in this part 4, 10 questions, originally 10 questions. Okay, but for the purpose of today's program, today's session, I only can give you, I only provide you 5 questions. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now let us look at this one. Okay, ready? Play the audio.
You will hear a budding artist, Jam San, talking about his experience as an illustrator for interesting yet violent fairy tale books in the famous K-drama, It's Okay to Not Be Okay. For questions 21 to 30, fill in the missing information in each numbered space. Use no more than one word for each space. You will hear the interview twice. Answer all the questions. You now have 20 seconds to look at the questions. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
Hi, Jam-san. Thanks for agreeing to be interviewed for our school magazine.
It's my pleasure, Susan.
Can you tell us a bit about your art background?
Well, all my friends wanted to be doctors, but I have always wanted to be a cartoonist since young. I studied Oriental painting at an arts high school and majored in cartoon art and animation at Kuching National University. I held the position of an animation and art director for a few years before I quit to become a concept artist in my late 20s.
Well, you gained popularity through your illustrations in the Korean drama It's Okay to Not Be Okay. Did you expect your work to be so popular?
I have always admired producer Park Shin-woo's brilliant work. I was confident that the drama would be a big hit, but I must say that I was surprised when my Instagram followers grew to 48,000 people, right after the series ended.
Is It's Okay to Not Be Okay your first Korean drama?
No, I actually did illustrations for Encounter, a popular Korean drama, in 2018. When producer Park Shin-woo mentioned that he wanted to make another drama about psychopaths, I told him that I wanted to be involved in the project, because I'm into zombies and cruel fairy tales myself. I was so glad when he agreed.
How different was Encounter from the illustration for your second drama?
The fairy tale illustrations I did for my first drama, Encounter, were only for the introduction and ending of the series. They had little to do with the plot. For It's Okay to Not Be Okay, I had to produce illustrations for each episode, and the fairy tales are the central part of the plot. I definitely had bigger responsibilities in the second drama.
Now, listen again.
Hi, Jam-san. Thanks for agreeing to be interviewed for our school magazine.
It's my pleasure, Susan.
Can you tell us a bit about your art background?
Well, all my friends wanted to be doctors, but I have always wanted to be a cartoonist since young. I studied Oriental painting at an arts high school and majored in cartoon art and animation at Kuching National University. I held the position of an animation and art director for a few years before I quit to become a concept artist in my late 20s.
Well, you gained popularity through your illustrations in the Korean drama It's Okay to Not Be Okay. Did you expect your work to be so popular?
I have always admired producer Park Shin-woo's brilliant work. I was confident that the drama would be a big hit, but I must say that I was surprised when my Instagram followers grew to 48,000 people, right after the series ended.
Is It's Okay to Not Be Okay your first Korean drama?
No, I actually did illustrations for Encounter, a popular Korean drama, in 2018. When producer Park Shin-woo mentioned that he wanted to make another drama about psychopaths, I told him that I wanted to be involved in the project, because I'm into zombies and cruel fairy tales myself. I was so glad when he agreed.
How different was Encounter from the illustration for your second drama?
The fairy tale illustrations I did for my first drama, Encounter, were only for the introduction and ending of the series. They had little to do with the plot. For It's Okay to Not Be Okay, I had to produce illustrations for each episode, and the fairy tales are the central part of the plot. I definitely had bigger responsibilities in the second drama.
Okay, so did you manage to get the answer? I hope so. All right, so now let's look at question number 21. So what do you think the answer is? After completing his education at an art school, Jamsan, who wanted to be a, the answer is cartoonist. Okay, applied to Gwangju National University to study cartoon illustration and animation. So he, number 22, what do you think the answer is? He quit his job as an art director to become a concept artist. He was very, what, surprised when he gained 48,000 followers because of the drama It's Okay to Not Be Okay. Since he loved drawing zombies and dark fairy tales, Jamsan requested to be the illustrator for the drama. He was thrilled when the producer, 24, agreed to it. Yes. However, he had to work extra hard as the illustrations played a central role in It's Okay to Not Be Okay. All right, so now, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. All right, it's okay. Now let us look at, we unpack each of the question. Okay, now, so question number 21. You need to find the keywords. After completing his education at an art school, Jamsan who wanted to be. So he wanted to be what? Okay, so the keyword here is the word cartoon. You cannot write wanted to be a cartoon. Okay, so yeah, so he wanted to be a cartoonist. Okay, cartoonist, a noun, right? The next one, Jamsan, he what? Okay, his job as an art director. Okay, art director in the audio is the keyword. Art director to become a concept artist. So the answer is wheat. Yes. 23. He was very when he gained 48,000 followers because of the drama. It's okay to not be okay. So the answer is surprised. Okay, this one you have to be careful. This one is in past tense. The answer is in past tense, the verb. Okay. All right. So if you miss the D, you write surprise. It is wrong because you are required to write the correct answer. Okay. All right. So how to identify the answer is past tense? Look at the word before. The word was, past tense. Definitely surprised with D. Okay, past tense verb. Okay. All right. The next one. Since he loved drawing zombies and dark fairy tales, Jamsan requested. Okay, you see two verbs here. Love, past tense, and requested. This word is obviously mentioned, requested, to be the illustrator for the drama. He was thrilled. You look at these two words, was thrilled. Okay, so with the producer? The answer is agreed to it. Okay, so last one. Okay, the word was thrilled is actually mentioned in the audio. Hajam-san stated the word glad. So it's actually he was thrilled. Okay, identify the similar word. Okay, the associate word. Okay, now last one, 25. However, he had to work extra hard as the illustrations played a what role? Okay, central role. But in the audio, it didn't mention the word role, right? Yes. So what was it? Yeah, central part. Okay. So it mentioned the word part. Okay. In it's okay to not be okay. All right. So that's it. Thank you very much. That's the end of our session, which is listening paper 1119 stroke 4. So I hope you enjoyed the session, both session, the speaking paper and the listening paper. Okay, so that's all from me. Back to you, Madam Teo.
Right. Thank you so much, Cikgu Hanapi, for the sharing. I hope all of you have benefited a lot from this sharing. We have some time now to take some questions on either the speaking or the listening paper. So please type your questions in the comment section. We will go through them and try to take a few questions. We have one question here. We will take this question, Cikgu Hanapi, from Maxell. Yep. Are all the listening audio are voiced by non-local?
Okay, so thank you for the question. Max, I think it's a teacher, is that? So are all the listening audio are voiced by non-local? You probably. We do not know the surprise given by the Lembaga Peperiksaan, okay? So I don't dare to say that the listening audio is from the local or from the native speaker, but just to advise you, last year the students were having a difficult time to listen to the audio because they complained the slang from the native speakers. So it could be this year as well. The audio from the net could be okay. I could be from the native speaker, right? Please note the British accent. So you have to be practice. You listen to the English songs. All right, that is how you improve.
Okay, do we have any more question? Or someone is saying, please not the British accent, is it? Okay. So fingers crossed, everyone. Right. Any more questions? Please type your questions in the comment section. Okay. I think everyone is tired, huh? Yeah, it's almost 5 o'clock. So I think this is all the time we have for the Q&A session. Any last advice for the students, Cikgu Hanapi?
Yes, yes, I do have. Right, for especially for speaking boys and girls, please don't get nervous. Right. So I think your school has done the trial, like a simulation, speaking simulation for you. So the speaking simulation is actually is a sort of how would I say, mm, more or less the same like SPM, the real SPM letter one. Okay, so that's it. Don't get nervous. Okay, don't get nervous, especially part three. You must say something. You must read. If you don't know, if you are clueless, if you're speechless, you don't know what to say. Remember part three. Look at the content points given. So you must say the content points given, and then practice it by saying like sequence connectors, sentence structure. That is the most important thing, right? So thank you everyone for attending the webinar. So we would like to thank to Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak as well, and the PPD Kuching, of course, for this opportunity. We really hope that all of you have gained something or the fruitful, beneficial lesson, um, and you might share with your friends. Okay, so on behalf of the JPNS and PPD Kuching, we would like to apologize if there's any mistake made throughout the session. So we hope that you will do well in the SPM examination. Do your best, make your parents and teachers proud of you. Most importantly, make Sarawak proud of you as well. Right? I think that's all from me.
Okay, thank you very much. And paper 4. We hope that all have benefited from both the sessions to score in your SPM examinations. On behalf of the organizers, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak, together with PPD Kuching, I would like to thank everyone for joining us today. With that, thank you again and hope to see you in future webinars. Take care. Bye.